Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of what I'm doing here for those anglers who want to have some fresh bait and look to kind of catch a bunch in late fall and then freeze it over the winter. And this mostly might be for some of the catfish guys, but I wanted to show you what I usually do is vacuum seal the gizzard shad that I use for fishing. I find that it just holds the fish a little better in the freezer. They'll last a little longer, and you know, it's really easy when you're going out on a trip just to grab one bag. For me, I was running out of bags, so I started doubling up on the fish. But for those of you, the best thing I've found is to do them individually. So you could take these both out with you, like 2 bags, but if you don't end up using one, you can put it, refreeze it, without having to, you know, reseal it again. Or really, after I open these, you don't want to use them again. So but yeah, all I do is I'll seal one end of the bag. I use this Seal Meal vacuum sealer. You guys can find this probably at like Walmart or Amazon, wherever. I'll put a link in the description. But I'll seal the one edge of it first. And then this is a slightly larger bag, but normally I'm using a little thinner bag, but I ran out. So these ones are fine. And then I got my shad over here. A buddy of mine gill netted a bunch, and these are gizzard shad. So what you're gonna do, I do a lot of work on engines, so I just have some rubber latex gloves. So I like to use these because the slime on the gizzard shad gets real messy, and I'm just in my kitchen. It's probably not the best place for it, but it's raining outside. Alright, so now that we've sealed up one part of the bag, I'll go in. I'm going to go behind the camera here and grab a shad. There's one gizzard shad. I like to put them in head first. Oops, see, got the slime kind of gets everywhere. Put them in head first. And for this bag, I'm going to do 2. So I like to kind of have them side by side in the plastic. I don't really like to have them touching. It's not a big deal, but it's just something that I do. Right. So now I have 2. And I kind of get them side by side like this. And make sure their fins are furthest away from the edge you're going to be sealing. And then make sure your actual vacuum sealer doesn't have slime all over it. So right now it does have a bunch. So then what you're going to do is you're going to just place the one edge into the vacuum sealer, and there's instructions for all of this for your vacuum sealer. So you're going to put it in, press down, and start sealing it up. Now, one thing that I want you to be aware of is that all the slime in here sometimes doesn't allow for a lot of air to come out. So what I like to do is kind of push a lot of the air out first in the bag to try to get it closer to the edge. And then you put it in here. And then start vacuum sealing it up. Alright, so there you have it, 2 vacuum sealed gizzard shad. Some people put salt in their bags. I generally don't put salt in the bag, but you can if you want. And then what I do is I just throw them all into a sink, and then I kind of wash them before I put them wash the outside of the bag before I put it into a cardboard box. The reason for the cardboard box is really to kind of prevent some of the freezer burn. So you can use that if you want. The one thing I will say is that when you're thawing these shad, the rate at which you thaw will determine kind of the texture of the actual fish. So if you do it in like burning hot water, you're going to kind of cook the fish and it's going to get kind of mushy. I suggest just room temp or even cold water about 15 to 20 minutes before you're ready to use these. Obviously, when you're throwing it into water, they're gonna be thawing up in the water themselves. But I like to have mine like like easily, I could easily cut through them before I put them on the hook and cast them out. So I would say like 15 to 20 minutes. You can even do it in the cooler on the way to the spot you're trying to fish. Just put some cold water in a bag and then throw your bag of Gizzard Shad in there and let them thaw. I found that this works really well and it keeps the bait in a pretty good condition. So good luck out there, and hopefully this video helped.